and we're at Kelso Elementary. This is where I went to school from the 1st to 6th grade. I learned about what I liked culturally, shoes, sneakers, and all that. So yeah, man, this is like the genesis for a lot of things, Thurz. My name Thurz, it stands for a boy born on Thursday, because my last name is popular in West Africa as coffee. That means boy born on Friday. So, but I was born on a Thursday, so I stuck in high school, and everybody in the rap community calls me that. Here, I was kind of bad, you know, I was fighting a lot. My parents are from Belize, so like, well, at least my mom's from Belize, my dad's from Ivory Coast, but we're really like different than the normal American, you know? So people like talking mess or saying that I sound funny when I speak or something like that, so, you know, calling my mom an African booty scratcher or something like that, that was a popular, you know, slur over here, or like diss. So there's a lot of people that caught these hands, man. I mean, it's like a real childhood. You know, the childhood that I feel like a lot of people are missing today is what we had here in Inglewood. So, you know, there's gangs, but like growing up and learning how to navigate the city, and just having like strict parents too. My stepdad's Belizean too, and he was very militant. So having those style of parents that kind of stay in your case definitely helped your trajectory. But basketball is like a big influence for me. You know, it kind of gave me discipline. It gave me practices to be on time, and having to sustain like good grades so I could go play basketball. That kept me focused. And also having art, having an affinity for rap music and creating rap music, it just kept me focused and not like hurt my chances of being successful in what I wanted to do.
Happen, I ain't had no choice. Watch how I do it. Swimming in the water with the sharks, I'm moving. I've been too tapped in, trying to take everything that's mine. Dealing with the politics, it can make you lose your mind. 7 days of the week, I've been at it, keep shit don't stop. Automatic with the energy, I'm bringing nigga, I was trying to aim for the top. I apply more pressure, elevate till I reach the highest level. I apply more pressure.
My uncle, his name is Tom. He's not Uncle Tom though. He's my grandma's last child. We were really close. It was crazy. We all lived in Inglewood. After we moved from South Central, whenever I wanted to get out the house, I go to my uncle's house around the corner, play some music. He had the Dell computer, you know, and I could go get on the internet there. Got banned from the computer, looking at bad stuff. He's the one who I identify most with in my family. So my uncle was like the first person to really get a degree in my family. He was in real estate at an early age, so seeing him buy properties and flip properties kind of gave me a lot of entrepreneurial, not experience, but firsthand viewings of how stuff goes down and how you can invest and build something and sell it at a higher price. He gave me $300 when I was trying to print up the first UNI CDs. Cause we needed like $300. We didn't have cash, we was broke. And then my uncle gave me $300 to go print up the first batch of CDs and all that. So yeah, shout out to my uncle. He's always been supportive from the early ages when I was Chief, my first rap name, to when I was a member of UNI, and even presently now. So he's always been supportive.
Vanity, rodeo's a casualty. I just wanted to kill the strip and walk away so casually. I just wanted to show my 3rd grade teacher the rap at me like, bitch, I'm the nigga doing niggas shit so naturally. A dick prick professional. Bitch, come get a snap at me. I ain't going nowhere fast. What's gradually? In Marina Del Rey, a condo I can't afford. I ain't far from going back to 12s in my Accord, especially if that check don't come through. But if it do, I still keep everything past due. Everything late like 4 a.m. date nights. And I could give a fuck what my credit score rate like. Fuck out of here. Man, I spend a couple racks on this. You mean I gotta pay some racks on this? Call your client, I've been asking me.
We're in Inglewood, California on Market Street at a coffee shop called Sonder. It's black owned and ran by some black women. So you and I, you know, really important duo to independent music in LA. Me and Yonas, we met in high school. We went to St. Bernard High School. We played basketball together. During school, lunchtime and recess, we'd have like ciphers on campus, battling upperclassmen, and just kind of like rapping, having fun, enjoying the craft. He introduced me to his uncle. His uncle's older than us. His name is Ant, Unjust A&T. He lived on 81st, and he had like the first official studio that we would go and record music in. So every weekend, you know, when we didn't have games, we didn't have practice, we'd be at the studio from like 11, 10 in the morning till like midnight, you know. My mom would have to drop me off because I didn't have a license or anything. So it's me, it's Yonas, Unjust, Nicole, and the homie Mike Pye. So we just really like learning how to be creators. When I got to college, me and Yonas just had a lot of similarities, you know, lifestyle-wise. So we kind of broke away from Rapture Camp and started recording as a duo. And then we called ourselves You and I. Did some like DIY videos. Second video that really caught wind for us was Beautiful Day, produced by DiBiase and shot by Mr. Whitmore. That video got over 1 million views on YouTube. That was also aired on MTV Sucker Free. So that was like a really cool experience for us because we came from a total DIY, you know, independent music mindset, and we were able to get on a national broadcasted show. The whole city went crazy, you know? Like, this is before Twitter, this is before, you know, Instagram. So this is like a big moment because the whole world is talking about us and seeing us. And we literally shot this video, Beautiful Day, for $800.
Just a beautiful day, so good. Just a beautiful day. Just pump it up and just vibe. I feel like we at the center of the you and I verse, and the sun is my heart, so I shine through the verse. Radiant like LA sunshine, so let's crack the hen, no coke in mine. Live for today, ain't promised life. Roll with the windows down, breathe the night as the sun sets and the morning breaks. Just thank God you was able to wake. Give a kiss to your girl, a kiss to your mom, a dap for my that have to bear arms on a beautiful day. Keep it neutral, let's all try to be beautiful people.
Being an entrepreneur at that time, we had our manager London. He was pushing us to like start an LLC at that time. Open up a bank account, go through the whole process of like effectively launching like a business, taking care of accounting, getting a corporate credit card. So shit, we failed miserably at that shit. Like we maxing out credit cards on clothes and shoes and then wondering how we was gonna pay it. And I'm like, wow. We get show money and try to like dump, you know, the minimum on the card so we can keep the rest of the cash. But yeah, we were definitely irresponsible at that time. But, you know, it was a learning experience because we learned that if you don't take care of this business, you're gonna lose it, and then you'll have to dissolve it and start over, you know, lose your business credit. A lot of education that I acquired that I apply now. After we maxed out the credit cards, the responsibility of all that debt kind of fell on me once the group broke away, because Yonas wasn't making money. So it's like a lot of money to pay back. So definitely had to get a lot of licensing placements, grind even harder to pay back that debt. We were both 22, and I had a daughter at the time. My goals were a little different, you know, than Jonas's, because I had to like definitely figure out how to provide consistently, pay these bills, make sure my daughter has food to eat. So that was challenging at 22, to like take care of another human and to have their best interest, you know. So there was definitely a balancing act that I had to like figure out, you know, how to successfully pull off throughout the years.
Everything around me, get your sneakers, got my Reeboks on. Creative, recreate your face in, cosmetically get stomped. Creative recreation, not for porn, I'm a Laker, but watch the chicks follow the trail when I rock my blazers. Broke as fuck, that's word to my mother, but I still paint the city in Adidas Addy colors. They say I'm shallow, I never learned to swim, but my glow in the dark pumps keep me float like fins.
After we won the VMAs, we started on this project of Love Supreme. We had a website we released a project through. You know, there were no Spotify's at the time. There wasn't really like Apple Music for what it was today. There's iTunes, but Apple Music didn't really exist. So we were kind of like some of the first pioneering artists to release music through a website. So we're successful off YouTube, had MySpace presence, and then the blogs are really like our publicity. So with announcing that we were releasing this project, the site kept crashing. You know, we had like thousands of downloads of this new project. Yeah, probably like hundreds of thousands at the end of the day. And like, the site kept crashing. We had to like figure out how to get it up, and it would crash again. That Love Supreme project was definitely sonically different than what we have done prior. Yeah, it took us to a lot of places. We were able to start, we went on tour with Talib Kweli. went on tour with Warren G, did Sneaker Pimps tours, Dunk Exchange tours. So they were all really cool experiences. We definitely received some major label interest. Before, like, the major labels were really like coming at us, we had like a deal with Adidas. You know, we had a shoe deal. We were going through the process of building out the model and colorways, but this is at the time where we were starting to break away. We just had too much difference of opinions and with how we should proceed, and you know, lifestyles were just creating a lot of friction. You know, so we weren't really recording as frequently. You know, we had opportunities to like do a whole bunch of songs with like DJ Khalil and meet other producers and do records with them. But you know, partying versus business, and partying was outweighed versus the business. You know, I wanted to get the business done and improve as an artist, but you know, we weren't seeing eye to eye. So at that time, we had the Adidas deal, and then it dropped, you know, because we didn't deliver what we were supposed to deliver. We had interest from like Interscope, Motown. There are deals on the table, you know. I remember we did a show in Seattle, came back, and that was it. It was like, yo, we done, you know. And right after that is where I started working on LA Riot. There's a lot of inspiration for that project, you know, researching the city, being angry that the group didn't succeed, because we were like the biggest thing in LA. It just tanked, you know, after, you know, breaking up. So I put my energy into LA Riot, and that kind of reestablished me as a solo artist. There were definitely some factors that didn't allow me to like really progress, but you know, I don't think it was the right timing, you know, for me to like put out a project like that. That probably wasn't the best move at that time, you know, so it didn't really capitalize on me breaking away. There's a story there, you know, of me going solo, but the music has to match that, and people's mindsets wasn't on LA Riots at the time, you know. People were still on some fly shit and LA shit, so, you know, that didn't like propel me to where I wanted it to go. The opportunity that I had for me to really excel came when I was doing work with Red Bull. I had this project called the Designer EP. Team excited at Red Bull to promote this project, but you know, there was some bad business being done on the producer, with the producer that I was working with. So that kind of like capped off the type of success I could have experienced with that. So launching Party in My Living Room definitely tapped in with the people though. You know, that kind of gave me like that response I was looking for from the music.
Stress will kill you, drugs will kill you, thugs will kill you, you don't know. When your aspiration, condemnation, not this life you go. Life is flashing, all the memories is vivid, moving slow. Did you hold your people down or did you pick up stones to throw? I just saw my stepdad give his dad his last haircut. Told me spend the moments when you got him, life ain't fair enough. Never loan no money, give it if you got it, shit get rough. It can turn in the blink of an eye, who gon' be there to pick you up? I stopped expecting shit bad, see my old ways, I cannot relapse in the ocean. I swam on my laps. If you drown your lungs, my just collapse.
We are here in Inglewood, you know, in the living room where you see all the Party in My Living Room performances. So yeah, this is my crib. Yeah, so Party in My Living Room, it started out of necessity. I had an EP with Red Bull Sound Select called Designer EP. We got to the end of the year and we didn't have any more budget left to promote the project. So I had to use a grassroots approach. I had been throwing events in LA, you know, throughout college and after college when I was managing some stores in downtown. So I just used that knowledge and I threw a house party. I always wanted to throw a house party. So brought in sound equipment, sound engineers, lighting, you know, brought in an open bar, and we threw a party down the street, you know, on 2nd Ave, and over 500 people came. So, you know, I had some basic assets to promote it, just a flyer. And I didn't expect that many people to show up, you know, I was kind of like, almost had an anxiety attack. I was like, yeah, these people gonna show up, what am I doing? Is what I'm doing right? So it was all those feelings that I was going through. And it turned out to, you know, be a really successful event. I cracked like a community cheat code. You know, I was like putting on for the city and the city came out. Creating Party in My Living Room was for us, by us, for sure. You know, it was in the city. You know, we didn't go to Hollywood to rent out of venues to do something. We did something in my hometown and brought value here to the hometown. Where there's a lot of dope artists from Inglewood that performed that Party in My Living Room. Yeah, like Tiffany Couché, yeah, Sir, yeah, Iman Omari. Like, there was so many people.
to party in my living room, yo.
LA nights can make your skin crawl. If a star don't shoot, that star might fall. Heroes crumble, cowards to take it all. But living in your purpose make whole niggas feel small. Traumas get normalized, streets sing lullabies. Little babies getting rockabye by. No relative asleep that I'm down with. Awoke in this concrete jungle, indigenous. Survive when my tribe see cars get painted with candy coats. Cause the hood loves sugar, but ain't shit sweet. Living off of Uncle Sam City. If you got it out the bitty, you're the city, you got many. Trying to test like diabetic strips. P.O.s with cloudy piss. Your hood pass looking like a kidney stone in this bitch. Your shit sound forced. Constipated shit, you know. Look, I'm solo.
I feel like there's so much integrity in just even like song creation. And then, you know, the songs that are performed here just have to come from a nice place, man. You know, I don't want to just be promoting something I don't rock with. I rock with the full spectrum of music. It just has to be a good song, you know? If it's something that's just being created for monetization purposes and it's not real, I'm not probably going to be drawn to it, and I'm not going to try to support that because part of my living room represents authenticity. I really want it to be an ecosystem for artists, you know? So it's a platform. First and foremost, you know, we want to be a visible platform. You know, I felt like Rap City launched so many careers, you know, in the 90s and 2000s, and I want to provide that opportunity for myself as an artist and for all the homies as an artist, you know? I feel like there's not a lot of like credible platforms that are created by us, you know? There's like platforms that are created by others, and we're supposed to meet a criteria designed by others to be considered a valid artist, you know? I'm like, that doesn't make sense. That sounds like, you know, systemic oppression. I have to meet a mold to, or you know, look the part and play the part to be on your platform, and you don't look like me. The will to be successful. That's what it takes, you know? Just not quitting, you know, having that will to continue through the highs and the lows, and having a vision and being able to really describe that vision when you close your eyes. And, you know, that will to like go and achieve that vision is what separates the winners from the losers, you know, and the people who are successful and the people who have regrets. So I want to be a winner. I don't want regrets. I want to take risks, and I want to have the will to do all that. So that's what you can wish me.